we'll start rolling them. That was where we took on the Blue Samurai of Japan in a friendly on Thursday. We lost that particular game by 2-0. Let me show you how it went down in case you missed some of the key moments from that particular game. And then we'll come back here and unpack some of the issues from the match. All right, so that's how it went down. 2-0 defeat at the hands of Japan. Listen, first up, what did you make of the game itself? I mean, obviously, it happened on Thursday, so we've had a lot of time to reflect on how it went down. But there's a lot of conversation about a lot of the key players that were missing. And now, since then, 2 more key players have left camp. And I've seen some comments from other people, like, for example, with TJ, who said that, the friendly was a missed opportunity. I think we said the same thing on Friday. But you've had time to reflect. You said the same thing on Friday. Have you changed your mind? Do you think that...
if you can replay what I said on Friday, I think it
will suffice.
Yeah, but I mean, for the benefits of those who have not seen the radio show on Friday. Yes, it's a massive missed opportunity. And that is also because Ghana is not going to be at the AFCON. And so we don't have a lot of time to properly test our team under pressure in competitive fixtures against quality opponents ahead of the World Cup. So you were thinking that when you have Japan, you've got South Korea, two of the best countries in Asia. You really want to test your methods against them. You want to learn about your weaknesses of some of your key players and see how you can go about it. You want to test some of the strength you've got in your side, but some of your attackers, some of your defenders, a lot of things. You want to experiment how the team can even adapt in game models. If you want to use the same team to switch systems and formation, how are you going to go about it? Yes, it's a missed opportunity because I don't think we learned so much about the team. I think Otoado and the Blackstars management, or Blackstars technical team will leave the friendly games not learning enough or anything about the team going into the next friendlies in March. Yeah. And so, yeah, it's a massive missed opportunity. No AFCON at the end of the year or in December, November, December, because we're going to play against some of the best teams on the continent, hopefully going out of leaving the group stage into the knockout stages, facing some of the top teams, and then learning more about ourselves as a country. But at the moment, that is not going to happen. We've only got about 5 other competitive games to test ourselves, and then go into the World Cup. I was thinking that in our peculiar situation of not going to the AFCON, we would have treated these 2 friendly games as our World Cup, our pre-World Cup games. What was the reason for excusing the captain? What was the reason for excusing Thomas Partey? What was the reason for excusing Fatah Isaaku? What was the reason for excusing Alexander Jiku? And some of the other players that didn't come through, because that is the entire spine of the team. Now, for any team that can't have its spine available during preparation, everything on the periphery is extra, is bonus. It doesn't work. So I'm very disappointed in the way we've gone about these friendly games, because look, Jordan hasn't played several minutes for his club. He's not tired. Thomas hasn't played several minutes for his club. He's not tired. Jiku just got to move to his club. He should, because of the World Cup, he should be in and around the team. But yeah, we've gone about the friendly games just as we've done, and in this one, just as we've done a couple of years ago. So yeah, I don't think we learned so much about the team in the game against Japan, and it might just be the same against South Korea.
DK, is there any particular player that impressed you from that first match?
Yeah, because of the peculiar situation surrounding this friendly match, not having the players that we would have hoped would be available, I think the technical team will assess this exercise quite differently from how they will assess the rest. And I think it's very difficult to judge the potency of the system based on the players available. So then you tend to judge individual players and how they fitted or how they played in certain roles that were given them. And I think that's what we'll get out of this, to be frank. If you look at the squad or the players who are available now for tomorrow's game, I would say if I push it, only 5 would probably be at the World Cup. Only 5, like if you push it. And I'm talking about from the midfield to offense. They are not guaranteed names that will be at the World Cup. So even somebody like Sibo is not necessarily getting playing time.
Yeah.
If Sulemana and Elisha Elisha is playing week in, week out, Sulemana is now trying to get minutes. If Sulemana starts getting minutes, it could be over for Kwesi Sibo. So these players are not necessarily guaranteed a place, but for somebody like Thomas Asante, if the season ends today, I think he's one of those who's likely to go because of the sort of form that he showed. And to be frank, I watched him against Japan. It's very difficult for a forward player when you are playing a game like this where you are starved of service, but his movement was very impressive. And he's like that. Like, even in the games, the few minutes he's played for in competitive games, when he comes on, he's a nuisance. He's constantly moving around. We saw him against Nigeria in that second half at the Unity Cup. He came on, constantly moving around, got a half chance, put the ball in the back of the net. And I like players like that. You need them in that tournament setting because, again, for him also, he can play in a number of different positions. We've seen him play out wide. We've seen him play at the center forward as a second striker. You need players like that going forward. So for me, I was impressed with him. I was also very impressed with Yirinchi. We know he's a midfielder, but we don't know if he can succeed as a midfielder in the Blackstars shirt. Yes, when Abu Francis went off with an injury, he came on. I think he held his own very well in midfield, very composed on the ball, calm, and it's very certain. When he's on the ball, you know he knows exactly what he wants to do. I think we also learned a lot about Sibo and the fact that I will take him to the tournament, but I will not be starting him in games because we knew that this Black Stars team, especially in the midfield, struggles to hold the ball under pressure, especially in the absence of Thomas Partey. So if you are playing against, in fact, almost all the teams in world football today will press you. And especially when they realize it's your weakness, they are going to press it extra hard. So for me, if you have a player like Sibo, who is very jittery on the ball, clumsy on the ball, I would rather him coming on the off from the bench when we are trying to protect a lead. That's when I think he's most useful. So I think even though he got the extended time, it helped us learn a lot about. He's not the person to be starting in games where you expect teams to come at you. So we learned quite a number of things. Obviously, the performance on the whole and the result was very poor, but I don't expect much better in tomorrow's game. But I think that, as Sitso has said, whatever happens in March has to be serious business. I know from the player's point of view, it's risky because you are looking at 3 months to the World Cup. Anything can happen. But for the team's POV, it has to happen. We have to get our best players available for those 2 games in March. And they have to be high-profile, very quality friendlies. Because we know some of the people are playing top. France is facing Brazil. They've already announced it. We know the African teams, too, are also lining up some good friends. Whoever will qualify from that playoff round will have competitive matches. So we need to get it.
The good news is that the AFCON 2027 qualifiers will start in March. So that's even worse. I don't know why I call it good news. It would be a competitive game, but it's also coming at a really strange time because
it also depends on the draw. To be frank, it depends on the draw because
what fixture you are playing around that time.
If we are playing let's say if we are playing the Chad of that group,
Niger, you know. But again, look, when you look at this international window, for all the African teams that has qualified to the World Cup, look at the quality of players. Mohamed Salah was with Egypt throughout the period. He's playing friendly games. Algeria had their full squad available playing friendly games. Senegal did same. Brazil traveling around the globe playing some very high-profile games. Argentina with a full squad played against Angola. Yes, Angola invited them for a friendly, but they used that as preparation. Everybody who was available was there.
Japan, Korea.
Japan, who beat Ghana in World Cup where your players don't come?